So I think that workplaces or organizations or employers should have to explain to people that they are bringing on to potentially be hired, whether it be through an interview or whatever, what their quote unquote company culture or their culture is like. They should be forced to explain. I don't know about necessarily forced, but I think it would be ethical. They would never do this. Most companies would never do this, right? But I think that they should have to explain to someone before they actually, get hired or before they choose to spend their time and their labor working for this business or whatever. Um, they should know what the environment that they are about to dive into is like, before they decide to get themselves entangled in a situation in a workplace that could be toxic potentially, which is a real problem to deal with in the workplace. And so they would never do that, because if they did that, they know that it would turn a lot of good potential workers away, because good workers and good people know that toxic workplaces and environments exist, and they're out here today in huge numbers, and it's very hard to find a workplace that's filled with genuine people that are genuine professionals and genuine adults and mature people that are just kind of there to do what they do it well, and go home, and be friendly with the people around them in a non-fake toxic way. Those workplaces are few and far between today. And I know I've had experiences where I thought this place would be like a really nice place to work and shit. Like, okay, this place seems like a cool place to work or whatever. The pay is like not great, but it's like okay. Like I can work here and it's something that I'm like somewhat interested in. Okay. But then once I've been working there for like 6 months, or maybe even like a little bit less than that, you start to figure out what's actually going on in the culture or in the environment on a day-to-day basis, what it's actually like to be there. You have pattern recognition. You can see like, okay, yep, that's what those people are like. That's what that person is like. That's what that group of people is like. Yep, and I don't want anything to do with like any of them. You have pattern recognition. You can see what people are like and what they're going to be like in the future. And then you realize like, holy shit, this is not the place that I want to be, because everyone here is like some narcissistic, demonic, like soulless, fucking immature clown adult that thinks life is still high school and is basically paying for or getting paid to have fake friends. You know what I mean? And they think that like going into work is this place where it's you're supposed to be in high school all over again. You gossip about people, you know what I mean? You talk shit about people and cause chaos and try to, get this person fired, get that person fired. Like, oh my God, like everything is a game. Everything is some kind of manipulation game, some control game. Everything's this narcissistic ego battle and shit. Like, I don't want to be in a place like that. I really don't. And I'm lucky enough to be in a place that's not like that now, or not as bad necessarily as places I've worked before. And so the whole point here is I think that companies should have to tell potential new recruits to their establishment what their culture is like here. What can I, as a potential worker for you, what can I, as a potential employee for your organization, expect the experience here to be like on a daily basis? Is it going to be pleasant or is it going to be unpleasant? You know what I mean? Like, and it's never when I mean culture, I'm not talking about the job or the task. Like, the task itself is no problem. Most of you can do the task, no issue. I can do the tasks, no issue. I can complete the assignments, no issue. I can do the actual job itself, no issue. But it's the people that cause the issue. It's the culture, quote unquote, again, that cause the issue, right? It's everything but the job. And so everything but the job is not what they're going to inform you about when they interview you, right? But it would be nice to know beforehand what I am going to be potentially getting myself into working for you. You know what I mean? Like, because like if I already know, if you have a culture, if you tell me as an employee or an employer rather, when you're interviewing me or potentially hiring me, that the culture of your company or of your organization or establishment is one in which you expect to be like, we're a family here kind of stuff. It's like, oh yeah, really, we're a family here. It's like, yeah, well, this is about the most dysfunctional fucking family I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we even talking about, dude? People, again, I've already made a video on this channel talking about the whole "we're a family" thing. You guys should go check that out if you haven't. But a lot of times when people that are in power at work places and in the workforce say that we're a family here, that means that they want access to your personal life with no boundaries. You know, a lot of times they want to know what's going on with your spouse, what's going on with your fucking partner, what are you doing on the weekends and shit. Like, so they can find stuff to use against you. That's a lot of times that's what that is. And so if you're someone with integrity, you're someone that's just there to kind of mind your own business and just do your job and shit. It's because you know that the people around you are gossipy kind of people who love drama and chaos and attention seeking constantly and need validation and their ego stroke 24/7, and you want to protect yourself from people like that. And so you don't want to divulge personal information like that in the workplace, obviously, because you have a good head on your shoulders and you're wise and you understand what people are like. You know, that's what it is. But they don't want to tell you what the people are like or the culture is like in their environment, because they know that'll expose themselves, you know, to potentially good people who they could have exploited their labor, basically. And good people don't want to be in an environment that's like that, right? When you're asking someone or an employer what the culture is like, that's not a disrespectful question. You're literally just asking, what are the people like here? What are the people here in this organization, this group of people here that I might potentially have to be surrounded by on a daily basis? Like, what are they like? What are the people like here? You know what I mean? Is it this weird mean girls thing going on, or is it a group of professionals? Because I want to work for a place that is filled with people that are the latter, you know, not the former. You're expected to just talk about, oh yeah, tell every single coworker about everything you did over the weekend. You know, you have to pretend like you're best friends with fucking everybody, all these random ass people that you have no idea who they even are a lot of times, and a lot of times they're scumbags. You don't even want to be around them, you know what I mean, because of how they act a lot of times and shit. It's like, I want to know if you have a culture like that where it's like everything is like this big high school thing. You think that like you have this culture where your workplace is like this pseudo kind of high school social club sort of thing, where it's like, you know, you've got people that think they're like the cool popular kids and stuff. Like, we're the cool kids, bro, and all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I'm fucking 40 years old, but like, I'm the cool kid at work and shit, bro. Aren't I so cool and awesome, dude? It's like, yo, dude, I don't want to be around motherfuckers like that. I don't want to be around people like that. You know, I don't necessarily want to be surrounded by people on a daily basis that are personally offended by independence or independent thinking, or someone who has thoughts and opinions of their own, or someone who's personally offended that I'm not stroking their ego constantly every single day at work, or I'm not putting on this fake energy of like, yeah, everything's amazing and sunshine and rainbows and butterflies and I love being here and this is just the most amazing experience of my life, 5 days a week being surrounded by all these types of people that absolutely fucking suck and love drama and chaos and attention seeking and all this sort of shit. I think it's important to be a professional, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a fake person. You can be a genuine, authentic, real person and be a professional at the same time. It's really not that difficult. You know, being a professional is not the same thing as being one of these toxic people that, like, you know, needs their ego stroked constantly 24/7. Very, very different thing. You know, I don't want to be around people that are personally offended by someone minding their own business or someone that has personal boundaries. If you have a problem with me minding my own business and doing my job well, that you're the person with the problem, not me. That's an inability to handle someone else's autonomy, or that's an inability to handle someone else's ability to have a free thinking mind for themselves. It's the inability to handle someone that is not looking to be involved in a social conformity situation. It's the inability to handle someone who is their own person and doesn't need social approval like some chronic narc, you know. High school ended a long time ago for me and for a lot of you. But for some of these people that work these jobs, dude, in society, high school did not end for them. You know, it's just like, that's just the reality. It's really unfortunate that a lot of people are like that nowadays. And so, again, that's the overall point here. Like if they were to explain that to employees, like, is your culture that, or is your culture a culture of people, of professionals who carry themselves with professionalism, you know, who have empathy, treat others well, have a level of maturity, you know, like what they do to a certain extent, don't gossip or try to ruin other people's lives, or are content with who they are, comfortable in their own skin, and are, you know, just are there to do what they need to do, collect, you know, their owed compensation and go home. Is it that, or is it what I talked about before? I want to know, is it that, or is it something else, before I waste my time, you know, and labor and mental health energy in this fucking toxic ass potentially workplace or not, you know. It's not all workplaces are toxic. I know it's hard to find non-toxic ones, believe me, especially today, in the current state of affairs with just kind of how the world is nowadays and how people are nowadays. But they do, good workplaces and healthy workplaces exist. Like I said, you can find them. You just have to, sometimes you just have to shift, you know, you have to swim through the water to get to the surface. You know, you have to swim up to the top a lot of times. So, anyways, yeah, that's my take, guys. That's my take on why I think workplaces should have to explain what their culture is like before they hire you. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's the video. Let me know your perspective, and thanks for watching.